got my old guitar out today and changed the strings. They were way past due for being changed. And I'm trying something a little different. I found a set of DR Blues Dragon Skins, which is a coated electric guitar string. I've never used them before. I put DR Blues on my Tellys, my Strats, a couple of my PRSs, one of my Les Pauls. I've never tried them on this old thing. And so we're going to see what they sound like. I strung it up around noon today and let it, sit in. I do this stretching thing that Derek St. Holmes showed me, which really helps break the strings in. Set it aside, came back to it about 8 hours later, and all the strings were in tune except the E was a little flat. So that's pretty good sign. I did break the E string while I was putting on the new set of DRs, and I don't have a spare E string from DR, so I put on a Kurt Magnin 9.5, which I keep about 10 of those on hand just in case. But one thing I do notice about those strings is they have a faster delay of sound as opposed to some other strings. And the first thing I'm going to test today is if that's true with this. So this is the B string, which is the DR Blues. So about 9 seconds. Here's the E string, the Kurt Magnin. About 7.5 seconds. So it has a little shorter sustainability. Not sustain. Yeah, it has shorter sustain. Let's play something. That's the only way to tell whether they really sound good or not. Oh, the other thing I did today, since I had all the strings off, I took the pick guard off and I cleaned everything really well, polished it up. And under the pick guard is the original red color here, comes into here even. And it's kind of cool to see that. It's under the poker chip too, and a couple of these. But it's so interesting, and also in here, to see that original red, which was really a cherry red. I mean, this is faded a ton, but this front is almost like I don't know, like an orangey red at this point. And it's just weird to see what time does to these old dyes. All right, let's play something. So here's the real test. Did the strings stay in tune? I think the low E went a little just a tad. A's spot on. D's spot on. G just went a smidge low. B a smidge low. E a smidge low. That's pretty darn good because new strings would usually go maybe like a whole note low. Interesting strings, folks at DR. I mean, they're silky smooth. I mean, I love the DR strings as they are, but this dragon skin is silky smooth. My gosh. I don't know if you can hear that. It barely makes any noise when you're going up and down the strings. I wish I didn't break that E string because I'd love to hear what the high E on those dragon skins sound like. But I unfortunately I broke it, which often happens with installing DR Blues. I don't know why. I must wind it up too fast or something. Did notice it was a little more difficult to get them to do a harmonic. I guess they're there, they're just not as loud as some other strings. Try that. Good though. They really sound like there's maybe not as much volume coming out of them as others, but I think it really sounds pretty good. Let's try the woman tone. You roll that tone way down. On these pickups, they're so old. If I put it at about 2, it's going to be really lower register type. have to get used to these. They're interesting. They're really, really smooth, but they're not quite as responsive as an uncoated string. But I gotta tell you, I think I could get used to them because they are just delicious. I mean, the tone's gonna have to be a little bit different for these strings. There's a nice pitch harmonic. Actually, I can feel the strings already breaking in. Oftentimes you put a new set of strings on, they might seem a little shrill. This is already settling in really nicely, considering it's only been on this guitar for 10 hours, and I've just been playing it for the first time here in the last 15-20 minutes. So I'm very impressed, DR. Really nice sounding. Very happy with this idea. So I'll play them around and see how much I like these DR Blues Dragon Skins.